Alright, so I want to do a little bit of a setup video for this upcoming footage, just because there's a little bit to talk about and there's kind of a lesson to be learned possibly, as there always is in hunting. This footage that I'm going to show is from about a week ago, 2 days after Christmas, the end of the season pretty much here in Massachusetts, and it's footage of a monster buck, one of the biggest bucks I've ever seen in the woods. I'm going to say he's at least in the 140s. He had a drop tine, split G2. The more I looked at his mass and some of the pictures, he had long main beams. He was really big, mature buck. It's the same buck that I had missed and shot under his belly back in November. 5 minutes after I had shot this, if you look at the European map behind me, never thinking I'm going to see him again. Didn't see him all season. Never got a trail cam picture of him. But I went in on the 27th of December thinking that this is pretty much going to be my last day to hunt, with stuff coming up. There's only like 3 or 4 days left of hunting in the season, and this was going to be my last day. And so I went in mainly to this area to get my trail camera out of there. I had not had a lot of chance to hunt in December. I pretty much was bow hunting the whole season, but I didn't go really out at all, maybe once during shotgun or twice. And I just hadn't had the time, so I hadn't been in the spot in quite a while. And so I just went in there mainly to get my camera. Not expecting to see many deer, and definitely not expecting to see this buck. As luck would have it, that's exactly what happened. Not only did I have trail cam pictures of him that I didn't know from December, from Christmas, but also he was going to walk in that morning at 8 o'clock, right in bow range. Basically around 8 o'clock I hadn't seen any deer, and I heard a deer, and I looked over, and this buck, as soon as I looked over, I knew it was a deer. As soon as I looked over, I saw a big rack, and I really thought it was him. He was coming, the wind was coming out of the northwest, and he was coming over this path. He was probably about 45 yards from me when I first saw him, maybe 40. And when I saw him come across, my first feeling was he's going to cut down in the middle of this opening. So if you watch, I stopped the camera for a little while in an open spot, and you can't see him on the footage. He's to the right, but I'm guessing every penny I own that he is going to walk up over through this opening up to the pines where he was bedding earlier in the season. What ended up happening, after a few minutes, I realized that he was cutting and walking straight at me and was going to probably walk right under my stand. So I just want to say that during this video, you're going to see the camera moving around a lot. You're going to see him pick me off. I was not moving. I literally was standing like this with my bow right in front of my face to break my outline, and I had my hand down by the camera. So I moved it just a little bit with my fingers a little bit, and then once or twice I think I zoomed a little bit with my finger. But the camera looks like it's moving around a lot. You think, oh my God, he's moving around, that's why he picked him off. I was not moving. I think what happened is he silhouetted me. I don't know how, because I do have trees behind me, or one or two with branches, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. At the time, that's what I thought happened, and that he couldn't wind me. And so my initial plan was to do nothing but wait for him to calm down before I even try and draw back, and wait and see what he was going to do. The lesson that was learned that I already knew, that I shouldn't have had to learn again, is that he's a big, mature buck. I should have known, especially at this time of the year. If it's during the rut, they might look up, get a little nervous, and then not forget about it and go on about their business looking for a doe, whatever it is they're doing. But at this time of the season, I should have known that he's really going to be on edge like he would be in the beginning of the season, and a lot more wary and smart like a normal, mature buck would be. And that as soon as he sees something out of the ordinary, especially something up in a tree, the first things he's going to do is he's going to try and circle downwind. And so the way the wind seemed to be blowing was out of the northwest, and kind of he was coming into quartering the wind, which a lot of times the bucks will do, especially during the rut. But in order for him to get directly downwind, he was going to have to go uphill. So when I saw him getting jittery, you can tell in the footage that he really wants to walk straight forward, that he wants to go straight, that there's a thicket on the other side. I mean, I think that's where he was going to bed. I had looked uphill thinking that he might cut up that way. I remember it. He was plain as day, And I remember looking over to an opening that I had on, and if you walked on the other side of the rock wall, it's 25 yards. And what I remember noticing, what you can't see in the footage, is there's a branches going over and under, kind of where in that opening. And that I wasn't really sure. It's possible I could have hit the branches, and there's a couple small ones that you can see on the footage, I believe, that is over his body, but they're real small, one or two. And I just remember seeing those branches and just saying to myself, just be patient and let him calm down. Not using any of my experience and saying that he's not going to calm down. He's going to cut downwind, and then if you don't shoot him before he does that, he's gone, which is exactly what happens. Not much you can do. It definitely stings that I got a second crack at this deer in bow range. Make sure to subscribe, leave any comments, good or bad. I don't mind bad comments. Tell me what I did wrong. I'm pretty aware of the things I did right and wrong. I don't think there's too much I could have done other than maybe drawing back when he walked up and shot him in that hole. But leave your comments. Definitely subscribe, and hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to be putting out a bunch more videos. I'm going to put a link to the 10-point kill that has some footage of this deer in it when he was walking away, and you'll see in that footage does not capture how big he is, which you can see in this footage.
Well, it's December 27th, and I'm in my best spot. I haven't been in here in like a month, 3 weeks maybe, 3 or 4 weeks at least. I really haven't hunted in December. Season's almost over. I'm in here with my bow, and this is the spot where I shot my 10-pointer early in the year, and I missed a drop tine buck. I'm not really expecting to see anything this morning. I jumped one walking in. I really just came in this morning. It's my last day to really hunt. I'm going to hunt here this morning, then home near my house in the afternoon. The season's pretty much done for me. But I don't really expect to see too much. But you never know. I mean, you just got to be in the woods. You just never know. It's a beautiful morning. I mean, I'm hoping the deer are going to be coming from my left or straight on in front of me. The big buck, the big drop tine I missed, God, a while ago. He came from bedding area straight in front of me, but No. No. Oh my God. I can't even believe that just happened. I really can't believe that just happened. I wasn't expecting to see anything this morning. Never mind the buck I'm hunting. That was the big drop time that I've missed the day I shot my 10-pointer. I just had him broadside, only 5 to 10 yards further than I had him when I missed him. I can't believe it. He came in from a different direction, downwind. I thought he was going to cut out in front of me over here at 35 yards. I had an opening and I was all ready to shoot him. And instead he turned and started walking right at my tree. He was on the other side of the rock wall and he started to angle up a little bit, but he was coming right this way. And he saw my blob. He saw my silhouette or something in the tree. Definitely looked right up at me. And I knew he was on pins and needles a little bit, so I was hoping he was going to calm down a little bit. So I was about to draw on him, I think. He was broadside. I mean, other than a couple branches that I had like above and below his body, I had a shot and the wind just hit him right. Boom, he was 30 yards, well, 20 yards away in about a second. He's huge. I can't believe of all the deer to even see this morning, that one was coming right at my stand. I can't believe it. Cannot believe it. I was not expecting that at all. I haven't seen that deer or got a picture of him all year since I missed him. That would probably be my second biggest buck I've ever shot, I think. I've been hunting for, 25 years maybe, and I've never seen a drop time buck. I honestly don't think I've ever seen any kind of non-typical buck, like with a kicker on it, or I should say a big kicker or a flyer or a drop tine, nothing. That's the only one I've ever seen in all the years I've been hunting and all the deer I've seen. And he's big. He is a mammoth buck. Gotta pray he makes it through and stays in this area next year.
So one of the things you'll see right after this deer goes away, I tried to do a couple grunts, long grunts, and then a couple tending grunts with some bleeding to see if I could trick him into coming back down to see if there was, maybe there was a buck chasing a doe around. I didn't think it was going to work, but right after I did it, about 30 seconds later, I hear something and I look right where he had just left, or had just seen him through the trees, and there was a deer walking right down. So I thought, oh my God, he's coming back in. I couldn't believe it. I said, maybe he'll swing around and I'll get a shot somewhere, and I grabbed my bow and everything. Next thing I knew, it was a small spike. Had one little spike on one side. And, I must have just been a total coincidence that the minute I was seeing him, the minute he was going up the hill, the spike must have been coming down another trail right where he was. So that spike came down, and you could tell the spike was getting my wind too, because he was all spooky. He was right downwind for me, but he came right around my stand. God, he hung around for half an hour at least, but all spooked out. He could definitely get the wind, but he's young. Don't get busted too much over there with scent, and even the spikes knew something was up. So either way, it was pretty exciting. I ended up seeing another 6 doe come by later with another spike trailing them. So I saw 9 deer that morning, so it was a pretty good final hunt.
It's like 4 deer.
But again, it's still stinging me that I didn't get to get on that big guy. I'm just going to hope he's going to make it through the year, and hopefully I'll get some video. I'm going to go really hit that hard for shed hunting this year and try and find his sheds, and hopefully he sticks in the area. Thanks again for watching. Good luck.